You doing, sir?
Hello, hey, Baraka. Thank you very much for having me. Yes, I am good. I am very, very good. Thank you very much for having me. So yeah, I'm pretty good.
Thank you.
Excited to be here.
Thank you so much for also like freeing up your time to join us here today. Now, how you doing?
Hi guys, hi.
Yeah,
I was just curious about this case, so I thought I'd hop in and ask some questions.
yeah, yeah. She's into it then. Now,
All right.
I'm gonna be the first one to ask. I don't want to get straight into it. Of course, I want to, but I don't want to do it. I want to give people some background on your life. Obviously, I told them you came in 2008, but could you start from then and just quickly bring us forward to today? Just give us like an overview, quickly overview of your
Yeah,
life
sure.
and
I'll
how you
I'll, I'll
got
tell
here
you all.
today.
Yeah, before I do that, I don't know if you've checked the YouTube, Baraka. I think your voice is not coming through. So if you want to check that before I do this, I can hear
My
my voice.
my
I
voice
think
is not
your
coming through.
your voice, yeah,
All right, let's do that. Let's check it. Two
yeah,
seconds.
yeah. Let's have a look.
Let me check it.
But by the way, um,
Oh, I can hear your voice now. Yeah,
you
I think in the
can.
beginning it didn't come. Yeah, now I can.
Wait, let me just make sure here. Let me add
Yeah.
another uh audio capture card. Yeah, cause it should take my voice. But let's see. What about now? How about now?
Yeah, I think I can hear it.
I think it's audible.
Yeah.
It's good. All right, cool. Hope
Mhm.
everything was came through. But yeah,
Okay.
so give us a little overview. How did you handle pay like from 2008 till here? Maybe even before you came to the UK. Just give
Yeah.
us a little quick overview. Thank you.
Okay. So as I was growing up, my parents used to bring us to the UK, to London especially, to meet some of our cousins, and we used to come here quite often. I'll come here like every once a year for a week at most, and we meet up people and we'll see how UK is. And I used to live in Saudi Arabia back then, and I think growing up coming to the UK on holidays, it has just shown me something that I really really liked about the UK. And in 2008, when I was asked by my father where I would like to go for my university, so I had option between America, Canada, Europe, and then also the UK. So I decided the UK.
Mm,
And for me, deciding the UK, as I said, is purely because of the hospitality that I've seen from the British people when I used to come here on holidays.
that's right.
So I came here in 2008 for my bachelor's degree from Brunel University in Uxbridge. I did my 3.5, 4 years here. And then I went back to Saudi Arabia. I worked for a couple of years and then came back to the UK in 2017 to complete my master's, which is MBA, my business administration from Birmingham University.
That's right.
And when I completed that again in 2017, I went back to Saudi Arabia to work. But when I went back after completing my master's, there was something that I realized as soon as I got to Saudi Arabia that I really, really enjoyed living my life in the UK. There were a lot of things that I love. One of them is the culture of the UK. You know, the British people, their
Yeah.
culture,
Right.
and again the way this whole thing works. While you're in the UK, you know, you had the freedom of speech, and I'm talking about back in 2017. So you know, people will say there is no freedom of speech. Obviously, there isn't now, but I'm talking about back then. Uh, and the people of the UK have been nothing but kind to me. And when they were so kind to me that when I went back to Saudi Arabia, that even my own friends, I could see them. There was a huge difference. So the way I was treated being in the UK, I was never treated as an outsider. Like I said, I abided by the rules. I always followed whatever I was told to do, like you know, which is within the rules and regulation of the UK, of the United Kingdom.
Right.
So I've done all that, and I received nothing but love from the people. So 2018 is when I decided to come back to the UK, and I thought I'm going to start my journey by working here, making a life for myself. a good life, which I believe that I will make by working hard. Again, that is one of the British qualities. If you work hard enough, you will get everything that you want to get. And I am the prime example of I've gotten every single thing that I worked hard for.
Mm-hmm.
So 2018, as I said, I came to Milton Keynes. I was in Volkswagen Financial Services for I worked there for for a bit, and then I decided to obviously change my jobs, and I always have had great jobs. Then I moved to Swansea, where I'm currently. I'm in Wales. In 2019 October, I moved there, and I was working in. Well, I don't know if I want to say this. Yeah, I was
It's
working
okay.
at a very
Don't say
very
it.
good job.
Don't say it. Don't say it. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was at a very good job. And since then, I've just been working with a lot of good big companies. And my very recent job that I got fired from was the Swansea Council.
Right.
That was my last job. And the reason why I took Swansea Council job, and I think this is something that I would like to tell everybody, because Swansea Council job is the job that paid me the least that I was ever being paid in anywhere else. But the reason why I joined Swansea Council, because I had a kind of encounter with the Swansea Council workers, and they were in the social services. And this is due to somebody I knew, and I was hearing a lot of things. And that's when I was starting. People were telling me that, oh, how corrupt the councils are. Then you see a lot of other councils are going bankrupt. And then I started just looking into it. And the more questions I was asking from the local people here in Swansea, and the things that they were telling me, I just couldn't believe it. I thought, this is a bit far fetched. I don't think this is actually going on. These people are just making up stories. And for myself, what I did, as I always do, because I like to see things for myself. I will never believe anybody if somebody tell me anything. I would like to see it for myself, and that's exactly what I did. There were 4 openings in Swansea Council. There were 4 different jobs, and I applied for all 4 jobs. Believe it or not, I got all 4 interviews, and again, believe it or not, I did got all 4 of them jobs. So from which I chose the one and only job which I thought was paying a little bit more than everything else, and it has a little bit more flexibility, like working from home, working in the office, and a good team that I was working with. So I chose that job, and that job was to do with finance, HR, and in relation to paying the Swansea Council employees. So that's my job was. And when I went in there, I was the one who would go in every department just to see what is going on, and the amount of corruption that I've seen within not only my own department but other department that I've seen very closely. So yeah, this is basically my journey, and this is the reason why I joined Swansea Council in the first place. Not because of money, but because I was been told a lot of things, and I have seen something very closely happening to someone very close to me, and I thought, you know what, this is not fair. I need to go in and I need to see what exactly is going on. And it only took them 9 months to find out the kind of guy I am. Even though I've got certificate, which I don't think I've sent it to you, Baraka, but I've got certificates which shows and which tells that my work for the Swansea Council was one of the best work that they have ever seen. Literally within 8 months of joining them. So yeah,
Then why would it?
Wow. So yeah, so
Go
if
on.
your work was one of the best, then why would they fire you?
exactly. So the reason why they fired me, and again, I've got recordings for it. I've got emails, and I'm sure Baraka got them right now.
Yeah.
So, but I'll tell you the reason. The reason was that I was the only one in that Swansea Council who used to work overtime without asking for them to pay me overtime, and that was only the time once a month I would do that, and it was only because of the people were getting paid, and I was paying. Like I said, I was part of the HR. So when I was paying people, for me there was no time limit, because I knew people have worked hard the whole month for it, and they are supposed to be and they should be getting paid for it.
Right.
And there were things that I will hear from my own bosses saying that, oh, it doesn't matter, it's okay. Yeah, if they're like 100-200 pounds short, it's absolutely fine, we'll pay them next month. But for me, I always used to say to them, for some people that 100-200 pounds could mean for me, let's say for me, I don't want to go at anyone else. For me, if I get paid 100 pounds less, for me that is one of my bills that I'm not going to get paid. I'm not going to pay, and for that I can get a penalty on it. So rather than paying 100 pounds, then I'll be liable to pay 120 with all the fines and all the late penalties that you get.
Wait.
I have heard them bosses saying that obviously when you are sitting on a 60k per annum, for you 100 pounds is nothing. But when you have people like me who are on 20, 25, 28, the whole country is not like, most of the people in the UK, in the United Kingdom right now, they don't earn anything more than 22k or 25k per annum. Like this is what most of the people, majority of the people are earning. And for them, even 50 pound, for me, even 50 pound is more than anything, because that is 2 of my bills that I don't pay. And guess what? I'm out of electric and I can't use my phone because I haven't paid my bill. So yeah.
Yeah, but
Wow.
it's a bit weird that they would fire you because you worked overtime and you paid people. I mean, isn't that like a like a like an example of a good employee?
Yeah, well, on the paper, that is the example. Like I said, I've got the certificate to prove that they have told me that I am one of the best worker. I have done things to them for the Swansea Council that haven't been done previously. So, and I think the reason why I got fired, obviously, this was some of the thing that was annoying my bosses. But the people that I was working with, the people, two, three other people that I worked with, they appreciated my work because for them, it was I'm taking all that workload rather than depending, oh, we're going to do it tomorrow. I would rather do it today. So they were not coming back on a Monday with a backlog. There was no backlog when I was there. So the reason why I got fired is because of my political point of views. One of them being I supported Tommy Robinson, and they did not like that.
Uh,
And yeah, that so this is where it comes down to why I got fired, and this was the biggest reason why. And when they fired me, they did ask me if I could delete my X or my YouTube, only because they knew that that was the places where I had the loudest voices. People were listening to me. People were actually getting to see what it is that I had to say, because being a Pakistani Muslim immigrant in the UK, I have not seen any other Pakistanis. Obviously, I've seen one or two British-born Pakistanis, but I have not seen an immigrant sitting there and saying, these are the Pakistani rapist gangs that needs to be talked about. I was the only one, and for that, I had Prevent come to my house, counter-terrorism police, and they did the same thing. They asked me, why is it that you are so interested in talking about the Pakistani grooming gangs? There are white grooming gangs. Why do you talk about the Muslim people? There are Christian people, there are Jews, there are Hindus. And I said, look, I'm a Muslim, so I will start by talking about my own community, by the people from my own religion. Because the only one thing that I don't want people looking at me saying that, oh, look at that. That's a Pakistani guy. Because he didn't raise his voice against these people, he's complicit. And guess what? I'm not complicit. I disagree with any Pakistani every time they're told, oh, there is a Pakistani rape gang in Telford, in Rotterdam, and they're like, oh yeah, well, you know what? There are English gangs. There are black people who are gangs. There are Hindus. There are Sikhs. But the thing is, you're deflecting the main point. The thing is, they're not asking you about other religions. They're asking you, what do you think about your own people doing it? If you cannot have those guts to stand there and say, yes, my own people are doing it, but guess what? I'm not one of them. Like you say, not every white people, as they say, oh, they're all racist. They're not all racist. You need to see people for their character, judge them by the way they are treating you, and simple as that. So, these are the small little things that these people have been doing, and they didn't like it, the fact that I actually come out and then somebody say, yeah, you know what, Pakistanis, there are rapist Pakistanis, they're this, and I don't say, oh, what about others? I say, yeah, there are. I agree with you. Let's find a solution.
Yeah.
For me, the solution was, if they got dual nationalities, deport them back to Pakistan. What the hell they doing here? They shouldn't be in jail. I completely disagree for them being in jail, because why should we, as taxpayer, even pay a penny towards these? I don't want to swear, but these monsters. Why should we? And that's the thing. The police didn't like it. Certainly, the Pakistani community doesn't like it, because I get death threats literally every other day. So these are all the things. So.
But you see, in the UK, there's freedom of speech, and you can believe whatever you want, you can support whoever you want. So, why do you think did it matter to them so much that you supported this one person?
Well, I think it is because they're all complicit. And when you are complicit and you see your friends are being not targeted, but actually the reality is coming out and they have committed a crime. So let's say if there are three thieves who go out and commits a crime, and all three of them know each other, that, oh yeah, I know I've committed a crime, you have, and Baraka know he have as well. So we are cool up until one of us get questioned by the police.
Yeah.
And the moment somebody points at me and say, you know what, this guy, I know he have committed a crime. We don't know the other two, but I know he did it. And how long will it take for me to open my mouth and be like, oh, you know what, don't forget Shivangi and Baraka, they're with me as well. So this is the whole thing. And people are not getting it. Everybody's like, oh, why do you think it's so far-fetched? It seems so far-fetched. I'll agree with you. Yes, it does. Why? Oh, why is it they're coming after you? You're just one voice. What is it? If you support Tommy Robinson, so what? The thing is, their whole narrative, the whole media, the mainstream media, the police, the Muslim community, the Pakistanis, their whole narrative is Tommy Robinson is a racist. He will never be friends with a Muslim guy, and no Muslim supports him. And the moment I say, well, guess what? I'm a Muslim and I'm an immigrant and I support him. What do you have to say about that? For them, that is, oh, you need to shut him down.
Yeah.
He's chatting nonsense. We don't agree with him. Don't listen to, he's lost his mind. If when you look at somebody who lost his mind and you say, oh, this person lost his mind, what you usually do, you let them be, because there's an idiot guy. You're not gonna, you don't bark back to a dog. You let them do the barking and you just walk away. But because they know something is happening when I'm talking about these things, their whole narratives by me, one person, I'm just, I'm just a one guy. And when I say this, their whole narrative has gone out of the window. So they have tried threatening me. Obviously, that didn't work, because I say it again, I keep saying it. I'm not scared of these people. For me, I know, I believe in fate. I believe in a lot of things, and I know if my time has come to go out of this world, it will come, and whenever it will come, it can come anytime. I can die anytime, anywhere. It's not a problem. But the thing is, they know that I'm not scared of them, and that's why they send the police after me. They send the prevent team after me. There are people in the mosque whose whole job is to sit there and write emails to the home office, to the prevent team, by saying that, oh, you know what, we think this guy is being radicalized by the far right. This is what I've heard. Like, this is what the police said to me when they sat in my house for 50 minutes, and all they could tell me was, oh, we think you're being radicalized by the far right. And I wanted to ask the police officer, who's a white police officer, a question. Do you think just because I'm a Pakistani, right, and I'm saying the things that normal Pakistani wouldn't say, so you want me to stay in my lane, basically? You're telling me, oh, you're a Pakistani, you're not supposed to say these things. Come back and stick to your religion, stick to your culture, stick to the way all of the Pakistanis in the UK are, and you'll be fine. And I would have been fine. But guess what? I decided not to. I think my loyalty to my friends who are white, majority of them are white, a lot of my family members are white, and I think it was my loyalty towards them that I decided not to shut up. And since then, I've just been struggling. And when I say struggling, I mean they tried everything. I get death threats on a daily basis. Again, I don't cry about these things because I know I put myself into this. Absolutely fine, no problem. But when they send police after me, and when the whole system is corrupt to the core, then yes, there is a big problem. People need to get together. We all need to get together for that. So yeah.
Yeah, of course. So, what happened there with the prevent team? Like, why did they come and what did they have to say to you?
Well, they said to me that you going and attending the marches, which is obviously the Tommy Robinson marches, where I went to attend. And all I did, I did say to them, I went there to observe and report. That's all I did. But their whole thing was, like I just said, we think, and the amount of complaints that we have received from the Muslim community, obviously they didn't tell me it was the Muslim community. I know it was them. There's no one else who's bothered about what I'm doing. So when they said the amount of complaint that we have received from the concerned people, right? We have to come and see you because, yeah, concerned, exactly. And they said, oh, we had to come and see you because we think you are being radicalized by the far right. Believe it or not, there is a 50 minutes long video on my YouTube channel, and it's in 3 parts. People can see it and they can hear it. I want people to hear it for themselves because I told them I'm recording. There was no gameplay. There's absolutely nothing. I didn't even know that should I let them in or not, but I let them in because I wanted to hear what it is that this police, after 10 years of me being in the country, living like a law-abiding citizen, I did not have as much as a speeding ticket. And for them to turn up to my house as counter-terrorism police, it must be something big I've done. Must be a crime that I've committed was so bad that they couldn't go and stop Axel Ruda Cabana when he did the killing of those poor little innocent girls. Oh, that is fine. But when it comes to this Pakistani man, because he says, oh, yes, you know what? Tommy Robinson is not racist, or we need to pay him homicide. Like, where were they when these kids were getting murdered? Where were they when the Manchester Arena bombing happened? Where were these people? I really need to know. If you're so bloody concerned, you got so much time on your hand, you can sit here with me for 50 minutes when I keep telling you everything is here. This is what it is. But no, they kept going round and round. Why would you talk about the Pakistanis? Why would you talk about the Muslims? Well, if I'm not going to start from my own people, how can I tell you about Christianity? I'm not a Christian. So don't ask me about, if you want to ask about Christianity, go and talk to a Christian. It's not my place to tell you what is good or bad or what is right or wrong in Christianity. It's not my place. The same with the Hindu people. If you want to ask them about their religion, please ask them. Don't ask me. Because if anything, I'll probably give you some nonsense answer which might not be true because I don't have the knowledge for that. I have knowledge for my religion and my culture. So yes, I talk about that. And that is the problem we have in the UK. You cannot talk about anything without being harassed and attacked by the Muslim community. And then these are the same Muslim people. They complain, oh, anywhere we go, people don't like us. Well, I'm a Muslim and I don't bloody like you because what you've done to me. So I honestly, I don't get these people. They're all they do is complain. So yeah, that's why they came to my house.
So now you've been I think you was arrested, if I was to say that correctly. Let me
Yes.
know if I'm wrong, right?
No, no, you're right.
And what was that all for? I mean, why would you be arrested? Is it because of what you just said, what you
Yes.
supporting and turning up to the marches and working very hard and arrested? Could you explain that? I mean, I don't know if you can talk about why, full detail why, but could you tell us what you can?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I just I thought something just fell. No, I was just a second. If you give me a second, just 1 second. Sorry, something fell.
Sorry, Shine, how you
No,
doing?
see, so when you say when I got arrested, right? It
Mm.
was the reason why I got arrested is because, as I said, it was to do with them coming up to my house, and obviously, the funny thing is it is still under investigation,
Mm.
and honestly, I cannot discuss this case,
Yeah,
but yeah,
of course.
whatever I've said previously, that is the reason why I got arrested, and I'm hoping when this case gets closed down, because it's been going on since January, they still got my cell phone, the police have my mobile phone, and not only that, the police have been harassing me since last couple of weeks, calling me every other day whenever they feel like, and I record all of their calls because I know a time will come and they will say, oh, he's lying, he's making things up. But guess what? I've got all the proof. So the police will call me and all they will say, can we have the password to your X account? Now tell me this, Baraka. I know you're on X. I don't know, Shivangi, if you're on X or not, but if you're on X and you are a public profile, which means people can see what you post, what you replies, every single thing they can post. So I don't see the reason why they would take my X account password. And when I did say to them, let's say if I give you my account password, what would you do then? They said, yeah, we will have to take you off the X account. So they basically, now this is the thing, they want me off the X account for them to continue their investigation. And according to the police himself, he said it can be anywhere between 3 to 6 months.
Mm.
Right, so they want me off the X platform for 6 months, right? Which I think this is one of the most important months, that with everything that's going on, the grooming gangs scandals coming out, everything is coming out, and they just want me off the platform. Because believe it or not, I don't know if you guys know any other Pakistani, right? Any other Muslim Pakistani who's as open as I am in tackling things, the things that I'm tackling. If you see anybody else, please let me know, because I see none. I don't know anybody and I don't see anybody. So yeah.
True.
So, I mean, that just goes to say where we are today in Britain. Because if you're turning up to marches, you're protesting. I mean, you got the right to protest. That's the whole part of the democracy. Is it comes with these perks that you can entertain whenever you want. You can I can literally walk outside and go protest. That's the whole point of this way of living. But if you're turning up, and let's say you support this group that now the government seem to making it a crime. I mean, doesn't that remove the freedom of movement? Just destroys it, and freedom to think of what you would like, freedom to even just be yourself. Because if you can get arrested for supporting someone, that's basically telling, hey, you can't be yourself. That's insane,
No,
right?
but legally, how are they able to do it? Because,
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
bro,
what's
right, freedom of speech and freedom of expression are like one of the fundamental rights. So I'm just thinking legally, how are they able to do this in a
So
country?
I think
Yeah.
what they have made it easier now, that I'm sure a lot of people are coming to grasp with that thing, where it is that they've used this term Islamophobia, that they have used this term racism and racist by saying, oh, if you are racist or if you say anything that does not sit right with the Muslim people, they can claim racism, or if anything, now they can claim Islamophobia, which for me as a Muslim, I think is a fake word. What is Islamophobia? Why would anybody have a fear of a religion? Like I don't have a Christian phobia, or a Jewish phobia, or things like that, or Hindu phobia. I don't have these things. But if you just look at the thing that is going on in the UK, you're absolutely right. Like, how can they do that? But guess what? They're still doing it. Nobody's stopping them. There are so many things that happen, and you just sit there and you look at it and you think to yourself, is it actually true? Can they really do that? But guess what? They do it, and not only they do it, they get away with it. There are people in prison like Lucy Conley,
Yeah.
Wayne Rourke, in sitting in prison just because they sent out hateful tweets, just because they were too angry that kids got murdered, and they were like, yeah, you don't have a right to be angry. Not only that, the police went to the parents, and this was a threat to the parents of the children that they have just lost, telling them, oh, if you were to go out and do anything, guess what, you're going to mess up the whole investigation, and we have to arrest you. Like, how dare you say that to the people who've just lost their kids? How can you do that? So yeah, when you say it's, we don't know, believe me, I honestly don't know. Like I said, I've been here 10 years. I am a clean record. Every single thing I do every 2 years is my extension of the visa, which goes through the home office according with my fingerprints. Where I work, they get it through my national insurance. My pay slips go to them. Everything goes to them, and that's why when they came to arrest me, believe it or not, I thought they were here to speak to me, and that's what the police told me, because I had my what do you call it? I had my camera on where I was at the ring doorbell, and the police came, and I said to them, "Oh, why are you here for?" And they said, "Oh, we just want to speak to you. So can we come in to speak to you?" And I was like, "Okay." I went downstairs, let them in, and then they lied to me again, because it's a lie that that's why I can tell you this. It's not a part of the investigation. They said to me, "We are arresting you because you've called someone a terrorist." And I was like, you know what? You need to know that my English language is not limited to just saying things online when I'm swearing at people. I never swear at nobody. So you telling me that I've called someone a terrorist is absolutely a lie. And I did find out that was a lie only when I got to the station, when they were reading me my rights and telling me the reason why I am going to be locked up today. So it got nothing to do with me calling someone or anyone a terrorist. That wasn't the case. But I recorded that on my phone, but they snatched my phone off my hand, and they took it to them. That's why I don't have the video, but I will get the video whenever they decided to give me my phone back. So yeah.
Yeah, but
So wait, they have your phone?
Oh yeah, they got my phone. Yeah, since January they had my phone.
What?
Yeah. It's like a proper terrorist investigation they're doing on me by taking my phone, making sure you're not doing this, you're not doing that. And like I said, they're harassing me now. They got my phone for 4 months, over 4 months now, and now they're harassing me, asking me, "Oh, can we have the password to your X account?" And I'm like, it doesn't make sense. An X account? Why? It's my bloody account.
wait, so they have your phone.
Yeah.
What are they possibly checking on? Is there any pictures they're going through? Is there texts they're looking at? Is there something that you have to hide on your phone?
No idea. No. I got nothing to hide, and that's what I said to the police officer. I said to him the day when he arrested me, I said, "I can give you the passcode to my phone if you can tell me when I will get my phone back." Because Baraka and Shivangi, I'm sure you both know that when you have a smartphone, your whole life is on there. And I said, if you were to lose your phone for one day, and that means your bank accounts goes, your direct debits that's coming out, if you're moving your money from your savings. I used to do that a lot. I never used to leave my money in one account, only because I was always worried that you might get hacked, people might steal your card. So I always used to move my money around. Yeah, and they took my phone on a Sunday, right? They took my phone on a Sunday. I would usually do this on a Sunday night where I sit down and I will see my money coming out, and I will do that on my phone. I never use the laptop, never needed to. Like, I'm sure you guys wouldn't have it in your laptop either. So they took my phone, and I told the police officer, "I will give you the PIN code right now as we stand, as long as you can promise me that I have the ability in front of you. I need to move some money around." They said to me, "No." And I said, "You know what? If that's the case, I'm not going to give you the password. You can keep that. You think this is it?" I said to them, "It's a two-way street. Help me, and I will give you the password right now. Have it. I don't care. You got my phone. I know they're going to get into it anyways. There's no point hiding." So I said, "I'll make your life easier, but you need to work with me because you are a police officer, right? And I'm a law-abiding citizen. If I was a criminal, I get it. I'm not a criminal. 10 years in the country, clean record. How the hell are you going to call me a criminal? Why would you even put me in prison when you have somebody who stabbed someone, and because they said, 'Oh, I wasn't in my senses. I don't remember stabbing people.' And they're like, 'Yeah, you know what? You're out on bail. That's absolutely fine. Don't worry. The prisons are too. There are too packed. We don't need you here. Please go.' But they put me in prison for 15 hours. They had enough time for me. 15 hours I was in there. Sunday morning they took me and they released me in the midnight. Well, after the midnight on a Monday.
Okay. Yeah, that's insane. I want to move into this thing. I want our viewers to get a little glance of this thing, this post that you made not long ago, and I want to transition to what's happening with you today, which obviously, your situation in the country and how long you possibly will probably be here, right? I know the alarm is ringing as we are short on time, but I want to quickly just bring in this thing that you posted here on X, I think not long ago, think a couple days ago.
Yesterday, no, it was yesterday, I
Yesterday,
think. If
right?
you're talking
Yeah,
about
yesterday.
the emails.
So I don't know if cool. I want to show the viewers as well, but let me see. I think I can screen record this. I can share screen. 2 seconds, guys.
Is it the tweet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Do you get what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Do you want me to do it?
Yeah. If you're able to get on the screen quick, then display capture display.
But I mean, isn't that so crazy how they're able to do all this?
Well, I think UK is crazy now, so anything goes and everything can happen.
Yeah, true. But you would expect like a free country with. I feel like it's all an illusion that they've given people that, oh, we respect your freedom, we respect your privacy, because
As
really
long as
they
you
don't.
don't piss off the right, the wrong people, then you don't have your freedom of speech. If you just go, the thing is, there's a narrative that is set in the UK, and if you follow that narrative, yeah, you got your freedom of speech. If you were to hold a
That's not
Palestinian,
really freedom, though.
yeah, no, I know, but that's what I'm saying. That's what it is that they have done. So if you were to go to pro Pallies rallies, and you shout at next white person you see, or you see anybody, and you say, "Oh, do you support this?" And if somebody said, "Look, I live in the UK. I don't know about Gaza. I don't know about Israel. I just want to live my life in the UK," they'll be like, "Oh, you're a racist." Like and they get away with loads of things. Then police never get called, and even police does get called. They're like, "Oh yeah, they have the right to do this." But the moment I do something else, or you were to say something against
Yeah.
them, opposed to them, which we have seen many, many times, the police is literally there watching you, and they're begging you to say something so they can lock you up, and you get locked up easy. Literally, there is no question asked. If they think you don't need to say anything, but if they think you are there to agitate them, they will lock you up. They will lock you up. Simple
You
as
see,
that.
that's the difference between, because I've lived in the UK, I've lived in India, I've been to many places, right? The difference between here and there is here you already know, it's clear cut that if you are out of line, trouble is gonna come,
Yeah.
right? In the UK, they give you this illusion that, oh, land of freedom, and you're
Yeah.
allowed,
No, sorry.
and that I
Go on.
think is dangerous. Yeah, go on.
No, it's okay. I was just saying. Yeah, that's right. It's like a grass where you never know if there's a snake in it or not.
Yeah.
And anytime out of nowhere you can get bitten, and that's what. But now it's been something it's not longer a grass where you don't know if there's a snake. The snake now is becoming very blatantly that, hey, you're gonna get bitten. That's why a lot of people don't even speak anymore. But I want to transition to this post that you made, right? I think we got like 6 minutes on this.
Sure.
So you made a post here.
Yeah.
I write this with a heavy heart. My journey in the UK, the country I loved, contributed to, and made my home, has come to an end. But this isn't a goodbye by choice. This is by a forced exit. So could you explain this part to the viewers who are watching this? I mean, it's not a goodbye by choice. It's a goodbye by it's a forced exit. Tell us more about that. What is going on? Are you going outside the country? And if so, where are you going?
Okay, so basically, being a Pakistani raised in Saudi Arabia never gives you the nationality. So I still got a Pakistani passport, basically. And what it is that when I was saying this, what I meant by that is that my visa ends in August, which is in 2 months' time. And you always get 28 to 30 days to reapply or for an extension. So you have to do that. Well, I would have done that in July if I would have a chance. But again, because I don't have a job, and I'm sure you've seen in that post that there is a screenshot of my BRP, which is my biometric residence permit. I'm sure, Shivangi, you would know that.
Yeah.
I don't get any benefits. There are absolutely no benefit. But do you pay into the system? Of course you do. And I've been doing that since 2018. No matter how much you're earning, you always pay in the system. And I don't mind that. Like I said, look, I have never minded paying into the system. And just 3 years ago, and that is in that post that you've just showed, there is an email attached, which I sent to the Home Office. When I seen all these illegals were coming in, and I could see there was a immense pressure on the Home Office, and there was an immense pressure on the British people who needed the help. But unfortunately, they were not allowed to get that help because the illegal or an asylum seeker, when they were coming in, the money was going towards them. So I sent an email to the home office, and I said to them, look, I can see what is going on, but can you take this email as a proof that I am telling you, if I were to get my indefinite leave to remain in the UK, which is ILR, and if I get that, I do not want any part of your public funding. I don't want to be a part of your benefit system, at least for up until the next 5 years, because I would like to be an asset to the country rather than being a liability. Because all I see is the people coming in, the illegals and the asylum seekers, are nothing but a liability. And on top of that liability, what they also have are the Pakistani people who are born in the UK. Most of them go kids on kids on kids, and I'm talking about Bengalis and Pakistanis. And these people, they've got like big families, and a lot of them were raised on the fact, knowing that, oh yes, you know what, you can get the benefit this way, you can still have families that way, and on top of that you can get houses on houses, but there is a certain way of doing it, and you will never need to work on system. All you will need to do, work for your uncle or your aunties, run a takeaway, do delivery services, or do taxi jobs, cash in hand. We know somebody that needed a cab, I'll call you, you can come and pick them up, they'll give you cash, and that's it, you're on your way, and they're on their way. So these people are nothing but traitors to the country. They are pure liability. And I see this, and I know this because I know these people, I know who they are, I can name names. I'm ready to do that. I'm not even scared of these people. They think, oh, they might scare me, they might say something to me, but you know what, these people don't scare me whatsoever. That was the email that I got from the Swansea Council, basically letting me know the reason why they will not even look at my application of me trying to get a job in the council after they fired me, is because of my political views. It says they talk about refusal to comply with the code of conduct. They have their councillors on huge, bigger posts than I am, and these people lead the hateful marches literally every single week. The pro-Pally marches, they do it every single week. So where is their code of conduct? Why is it that I'm the
Yeah.
one need to comply with it when I'm not even that much? I wasn't even earning that much to be. I wasn't even noticed. Like I said, I sat in an office, nobody knew who I was, and I never even did anything YouTube or X when I used to do on my Twitter. I never ever mentioned I work for the council. I never do that. It's only now that I'm mentioning that this is the Swansea Council have done this to me, and you can see that it says very clearly. And next email is my email that I've sent to them.
Yeah, so here it says your public interviews on YouTube discussing the circumstances of your departure and your ongoing public association with a political group raised further concerns regarding your ability to meet the council's neutrality and
I mean, but it's not really neutral, is it?
Yeah. And you know what? Like I
yeah.
said, look, I'm not only talking the talk. If you look at the next email, that was me then replying to this email, and you can see very clearly what I've said to them.
So the next email is this, right?
Uh,
Is it this one?
yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Yeah,
Okay,
that is the
let's
one.
see.
So that is my reply to them.
Can you guys see this properly? I'm trying to
Let me just
zoom in
see.
because it looks kind of like it's small in words.
It looks smushed, but it's fine.
Yeah, it's smashed, but I'll try to read it for you, showing you so you can get an
Yeah.
idea. Thank you for your response. However, I must highlight a clear, inconsistent, and apparent biases in how Swansea Council applies its conduct of code of conduct. You have stated that concerns regarding my online activity and it alleged impact on the council's reputation. I have repeatedly stated that I would adhere to the same rules if they were applied equally to all council employees. So were there people doing the same thing?
Yeah, I have actually named the individual. I have literally, the black mark that I've done. That is the
Oh,
name of the counselor. Yeah, you can see that.
individuals such as Black Line,
Yeah,
who who hold
yeah.
who hold a higher position within the council have engaged in political activities, including attending marches without facing the same repercussion. If they are permitted to express their views publicly, why am I being penalized for mine? It's a good question. Did you get an answer for that?
Nope, never got it. Never got it.
Okay.
Never, ever, never.
Yeah, so you could tell here there's somebody pulling the string at the very top who wants you gone, and you can tell which
Yeah.
party they vote for.
See, the thing is, look, Baraka. If I let's say for a second, you and Shivangi thinks that I'm making this up, right? These are proper emails, and I can give you without the highlights as well, as long as obviously you keep
No, no, no,
confidential.
it's
Yeah,
all right.
but that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. You can see these are the emails that I have written to the Swansea Council, and you can see if they think I'm lying about it. They should have come back to me. If you see that email, there's an attachment to it. It was actually the picture of the counselor holding that, properly hateful slurs that they always go around saying to anybody who doesn't support or understand what these people are doing. And he was there on numerous occasions. I've got him on my YouTube lives. I've seen him. I've called him out. But like I said, I never got a reply from them. It's been since October now, and this is what they've done to me. So basically, when I go for the visa extension now next month, first of all, I'm not going to lie to you. My savings have run out. I've got no money left whatsoever. I've fallen behind first time in 10 years in my life. I've fallen behind on my bills such as electricity bills. These simple bills. And again, as I said, I never predicted that this will happen. For me, I was always like, I'm working hard. I'm a law-abiding citizen, so I don't need a backup plan. I'm not a criminal. If criminals got a backup plan because they're like, yeah, we're gonna commit a crime, we might get caught. So what do we do next? I never thought that way because that was never my intentions.
yeah,
So, anyways, when the reason why I've put out this post, obviously, because you know how it is, Baraka. In this movement, anybody says, "Oh, you know what? I'm going to take a step back, or I'm going to move over." They're like, "Oh, coward! He's doing a runner. He's doing this." So the post was to let people know I'm not a coward. I'm still here. Until they kick me out, I'm going to be talking about the same things that I've always been talking about because I'm not scared. So the reason the post went out to let the people know, the people that have supported me throughout this 8 9 months, and the people they like me, they've loved me, show me immense love that they've showed me. So
yeah,
it was only for them to let them know I'm not running away. This is the proof. This is the email. What they have done, they couldn't scare me. They couldn't threaten me. They couldn't do anything. Then they came to me this way. And unfortunately, this is the way it hurts the most because you can't pay your bills.
yeah. The
Then you
whole
do at some point start thinking, what do I do? Do I sit here, get homeless, or do I start, looking at the other options? So unfortunately, I won't be able to go to Saudi Arabia because I have checked those options. The reason why I couldn't go there because of the Pakistani passport I hold. And unfortunately, right now, Pakistanis are shadow banned almost anywhere. I'm talking about Europe, I'm talking about Dubai, I'm talking about Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is where my home is, where my parents still live till today, and I can't go there. So the only option that I'm left with is pack up and go to Pakistan. And 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 I'm sure you guys know with everything that I have been saying and the death threats that I've been receiving from the Pakistani community,
yeah.
either in Pakistan or in the UK, I know what will happen to me the moment they find out I'm going, and somebody will tell them. I'll probably arrive at the airport, uh, go out. Anything can happen. You can get shot dead. You can get you. I don't. I won't get stabbed. I know, but I will get probably they shoot me. That's what they do.
Right, but of
But
course
if your parents live
there
in
is.
Saudi Arabia, why can't you just go there?
Well, you have to have a reason to go to Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is not like UK or anywhere else that you can just turn up. Hey, my parents live there, and I'm coming. They're like, yeah, no, it doesn't work that way. You have to have either a job. They have to give me a visa for me to go there. Otherwise,
Can
it
you
have to
not?
But
be
you lived
Pakistan.
there for long enough. Why didn't you just get
I lived there for 30
Saudi
years.
Arabia?
30 years.
30.
Yeah, they don't give you
Why didn't
nationality.
you just do they not give you like a passport if you live long enough?
My father's
No.
been there for 50 years. So no,
So he still doesn't have
Damn,
a
no,
that's
Saudi
a
Arabian
strong
passport.
one.
no.
So you
Pakistan.
still hold Pakistan. So obviously,
Yeah.
and Pakistanis, because what the Pakistani government have been doing around around
Yeah.
other people's countries, and with India and all these things, a
Yeah.
lot of people see you as a high threat, and rightfully so. And obviously, and people like you that gets to feel the pain, even though you didn't contribute to the chaos. But but I want to shift to this because I want to end this conversation on this. So this situation that you're in where you can't get a job back to the council again. You've been looking for work, and now you obviously the savings are going slow. Of course, obviously savings. If there's nothing else coming in and you're spending, then eventually they're gonna run out. And the movement that you've been fighting and working with, voluntarily, because nobody gets paid in this thing. You
Yeah.
book your train, you go to London, you do all this, you do all that. Nobody gets paid. But the kind people who have seen you, who have seen how kind you are, how much work you've given, how much dedication you've put to the movement and to the country as well, they've decided to host and decided to launch a GoFundMe for you,
Yes,
which
that
is a
is correct.
nice thing. Could you tell me more about that?
Yeah, it's my friend Claire. I've met her a few times, and she's been very kind. And because obviously I had the conversation with her before, and I just thought, because a lot of people said to me, I have got message on message asking me that why don't we do the GoFundMe? But I just said to them, which I said to everybody else, I don't think the people owe me anything. If anything, this GoFundMe should be given by, what do you call it, the people. Sorry, the Swansea Council. They are the ones who should be, giving me my job back, first of all, and or even give me a fair chance to apply for the future job. As long as they can say that, for me, I'm sorted. I'm good. But yeah, this is, like I said, this is the kindness of Claire. She's been very kind to me. She's been very helpful whenever I need it. And there are things that people don't see in the background. And as I said, look, she started that without even, she knew if she's going to ask me, I'm going to say, look, the people don't owe me anything. Like I've been saying, I've been putting this off since the last couple of weeks, and I'll say it again. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, then it's absolutely fine. I will, if I have to leave, obviously I will leave it like a man, and I'm not going to claim asylum. A lot of people have said to me, claim asylum, and I'm against that, because I believe asylum should be claimed by women and children. I'm neither one of them, so yeah, I wouldn't claim asylum. So I would rather leave like a man than stay here like a coward, saying that, oh, I need asylum. I don't need that. So yeah.
Respect, bro. This is something that is this is utopia now, in the way you're talking now, the way you're, the thinking that you have. That is something that's been thrown in the bin for a long time now. Usually the people who claim asylum today are 25, strong man, can eat a rock. That's how strong physically this guy really is. And he comes to you and be like, please. And then when you ask him, he's like, no, I don't have nobody. I'm dying everywhere. 2 months later, you find out he has 7 kids and he's trying to bring them in. And you're thinking,
I
how
think
did?
you should claim asylum. I
But
mean,
but yeah, but that's what I was gonna go with.
Yeah.
I think because I think the country will be better off than with you than some guy who's trying to who's pumping his boat right now to come through. That's my honest opinion. I think the country is better off with you, who's been here for around 10 years. We're just gonna hit the 10 years mark, including the time where you were here while student. That's over 10 years. So the country is better. You've not claimed any penny. Every single food that you've ever put in your mouth came from you working very hard for it, and that is huge respect for you, sir. So the fact that now is getting to the point where you have to leave, I think it's better for you to claim the asylum, because you deserve it more than somebody who's about to put in his application because you flee Pakistan, or you flee
India.
yeah, India. Too many people. It's claustrophobic. Yeah, he's like, yeah, I'm going to Britain.
Yeah, the Afghanis and the Pakistanis, and
The
they come through
Iranians,
all
they're
these.
gonna come too. Look at what's going on. Trump just told the city to evacuate. 10 million people in the city. Where do you think they're gonna go? Yo, the first map they're looking at is the UK. So those guys are gonna come. It's gonna be like a apocalypse. Walking Dead. Everybody's gonna be running here. And I think it's better for you to claim it than actually
Bro,
going
what,
back.
I do appreciate both of you, saying it. And I
But
think,
then,
and
sure,
it's not
sure.
only you two, believe me. You have no idea the amount of people have come after me. They've said to me, you have to claim asylum. But I'm not gonna lie. I think that is an option I will never take. Like, I know people will say it, they keep saying it is good. I get it, I understand it, but I think it's just against my moral values to claim asylum, that I'm so against. Like I said, I'm neither a woman nor a child. So yeah, no, I wouldn't claim it. But thank you so
You'd
much.
be
I appreciate.
surprised the people who are the same age as you who turn to be a woman when they're claiming
Oh my
asylums.
god.
You would be surprised. And also you'd be surprised how many people who when they claim asylum, they say run, a lot of people, there's report that comes out every time where people find
They
out
say I'm
that these
gay.
guys, they say they're gay to
Yeah,
claim asylum. They do
yeah,
anything to claim asylum.
yeah.
So if you were to claim asylum, you would have a good reason to do so, because I think the
Exactly.
country would it would be a great loss. I mean,
Well, like I said, I hope
I
it
was
doesn't come
just
to that. There are a lot of good people working in the background right now that I speak with, that I've been speaking with, and the funny thing is, I literally put this post out, and I'm not going to lie. When I put it out, I was thinking, oh, do I really need to tell the people? Then I thought, you know what, I'll just do my bit. People agree with it is fine. 99% of the people that I commented on that, and you can see it for yourself, is all very positive. I was shocked, and you won't believe it. There are some lefties as well who used to threaten me almost every other week, sending me some, not threaten me, but they used to say very horrible things to me. Even they came out and they said, you know what, whatever it is, we don't think you should be kicked out of the country. So it does say something.
hmm
Like I know people got haters and lovers, and I'm not saying I got all haters and all lovers, but at the same time, there are some haters who have actually commented on the post. You can see it for yourself. And I have replied to them, and I've said to them, what, big respect, man. I never thought somebody who hates somebody to a point where how they have harassed me, how they've leaked my personal details about my family members and everything. And I was like, wow, still you guys are saying that, oh, you would rather not want me to leave the country because you know how much of a greater risk I will be leaving the country. Uh, like I said, there is a lot of people in the background as well, which I'm really really thankful and grateful for. I've got a lot of gratitude, man. I got so much gratitude towards the country, towards the people like you. I've met you guys once. Barack, I've met you twice actually.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, meeting up with you guys and talking to you guys is nothing but love, man. But yeah, for asylum, I still have to say no. That's me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but thank you so much for coming on. We really
No worries.
appreciate it. Yeah, and guys, if you can send us the link to the GoFundMe so we can like
Yeah, the
put
link
the link
right now
below.
is in the
I've
description.
sent it to Baraka, but thank you very much
Oh,
for having
okay.
me, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, of
And I
course.
am hoping and I'm praying that in the future we are going to meet up. We're going to have a nice little picture,
Yes.
and we're going to say, hey, we all of us are still here fighting, doing the
Yeah.
right thing for the country, and we can see that a lot of people appreciate all of us doing the things that we do. It might be very small, but I've realized in the last 24 hours how much it has impacted people in a very positive way. So yeah, I'm very grateful.
Yeah,
As
definitely.
thank
I think what we do is people love it because they get the courage that they get to see something that they would want they would not want to do, especially the people who are maybe old or maybe don't have the means and results and all these things
or the courage. I
to
think
do
more
it.
than that, it's a courage, because I know a lot of people who've privately said to me, and I used to like them, but now it has come to a point where I've said to them, look, you either support me publicly, otherwise I just don't want it. What's good for me that you guys are doing when you come into me behind closed doors and, oh yeah, oh, we love what you're doing. But I'm the one, I am the one on the front lines. I'm the one who's getting attacked. If you can't support me openly, then I'm really sorry. I don't need the support. I don't want it. I would rather have one guy, right, standing next to me and tell me, you know what, I support you, rather than have somebody who says, oh, I support you, but then stab me right in the back when the right time comes. And I'm sure Baraka, you know it more than anybody
Yeah,
else, because it happens to all of us. You see people,
yeah, it
you meet
happens a
people,
lot.
and everybody's looking at you when you get in the people liking you, and you're like, oh yeah, Baraka, we're right behind you. We're gonna support you. And a time comes when you do really need the support, and you look around, you're like, oh, everybody's gone.
Yeah, yeah,
There's no
yeah.
one here.
I think almost everybody goes through that situation all the time, almost all the time, where all these bubbly, funny, jumpy friends are around you,
Yeah.
and everybody's giggly and bubbly, and you're thinking, yeah, sick, holding hands and that. And when things hit the fan and everybody's running, and you're thinking, where's James? Where's David? It's like,
Yeah.
where they gone? But
Yeah,
yeah,
Mike is, where is Muhammad? Where is Ahmad? I'm joking, man.
where's Mustafa, man? All right. But,
I had to say something before I end, man. I need to.
hey, but in
I can't
Pakistan,
help
what are you gonna
myself.
be saying, man? Where's Khan? Oh, where's Asim Munir? Oh shit. but
But yeah, man.
but yeah,
Thank you so much.
it's been a
But
great to
yeah,
have you on. I
be
wanna have.
careful out there.
Thank
I
you.
mean, I do hope you change your mind though, but
Well,
I'll
it's not
keep in
gonna happen. I
contact.
can promise you. Aside, you will never see me. I'm a man of my word, and I think that is one thing that I will never change. An asylum thing, I won't do it. I won't do it.
All
Like, 'cause
right.
I would rather live it like a man than
I'll I'll
I,
I'll call you and we'll have a
sure,
discussion
sure, man.
further,
Whenever, give me a
and
call, bro.
we'll explore some options. I'm sure you've
Sure.
probably have, but just a new perspective from yeah from myself.
Okay.
But
No
it's been
worries.
a pleasure to have you on, sir. I
Oh
appreciate your
man, thank you very
time,
much.
and it'll be cool to have you on probably before this month ends and catch up with you again on
Sure.
the main channel. Uh, but this video will be turned into this live will be turned into a video as well. So if you want the whole thing we'll be able to send to you as well. But
All
thank you
right.
so
Thank you.
much.
Yeah, of course,
Appreciate
of
you.
course.
Shivang, any last words?
no, just great to have you on and good luck.
Thank you.
For sure. Right.
All right.
Right, guys, you've heard it here first. We're gonna lost we don't want to lost him, but we're on the verge. We're on a edge of losing him. And yeah, thank you so much. Without further ado, hand to the head salute. Bye bye.
Okay, bye.